Welcome back to Conversations on Deck, and today is Sunday afternoon reading with Bruce Weber's All Pro Baseball Stars 1977. Every day is Valentine's Day in Montreal. That's the first thing new manager Dick Williams will learn. Take out your lineup card and write down Valentine, center field. Then worry about the 8 other spots. That's what former manager Carl Kuhl did after bringing Ellis up from the Expos Denver Farm Club last July 16th. Montreal just seemed to play a little bit better with the lanky 6'4", 205-pounder in the outfield. The big right-hander, who will be 23 around All-Star time this year, was born in Arkansas, but he grew up in baseball-mad Los Angeles. I've always thrown things, he said. Bottles, rocks, whatever was there. I guess that's why I throw so well. He's great at catching the ball, too. Expo pitcher Woody Fryman's marvels at his ability in the field. He gets him in the gaps, and he catches those bloopers. You can't imagine what that does for a pitcher's confidence. Ellis also knows what to do with the bat in his hand. His .279 batting average was more than the Expos expected. He also had 15 doubles, 7 homers, 39 RBIs in just 94 games, most of them batting in the leadoff spot. Add to those 14 stolen bases, you have an explosive threat. Montreal had the worst team in the majors in '76, no question about it, but they played just a little bit better with Ellis in the lineup. The future looks great. Man, that was a great bio from Bruce Weber on Ellis Valentine. And boy, just look at that card. That is just a great card. He does look like a young kid, big kid. Focus. He's got one batting glove on there. Picked that card up from Dean's Sports Cards. And man, Ellis Valentine, born July 30th, 1954 in Arkansas. He was, as it said, he was raised in Los Angeles, went to Crenshaw High School, and came from a hard-working family. His dad was a garbage man. His mom had a hair salon in the home. Growing up for me, we'd go visit family in Massachusetts. Both my parents were born in Massachusetts. And I had Uncle Don Miller, his name was. And he was this big guy and always pulling up at the Miller house. You'd see a garbage truck in the driveway. And as a little kid, that was the coolest thing in the world to me. That Uncle Don owned a refuse company. And man, for the longest time, I wanted to be a garbage man, just like Uncle Don. Well, Ellis was, an outfielder, serious. That guy had talent. He could hit, he could throw. Strong arm, nicknamed the human howitzer. That's how strong his arm was. And he was a dependable player for the Expos. And sadly, in 1980, he got hit by a pitch. He was a right-hander, so he got hit in the left cheekbone, shattered that. And there's a nice card in '81 with Ellis Valentine, and a lot of you guys have probably seen it, where he's kind of got like this protection. It's like a half of a football helmet, guard there for him. But he just never came back after that. He just wasn't the same. So let's look at his 77 stats here. He was 22 years old. He had a 3.8 WAR, played in 127 games. He scored 63 runs. He had 149 hits, 28 doubles, 28 home runs, 76 RBIs, 13 stolen bases, 293 batting average, and he was an all-star. So the future was looking great for Ellis Valentine. Like, really good. But unfortunately, when he started playing in the big leagues, he got into trouble. He got into serious drugs, not just marijuana or anything like that. He got into cocaine, and it definitely messed him up, and he would admit that even today. Here's a quote that I have from Ellis Valentine. Quote, "I've had 2 real jobs in my life. I've been a baseball player and I've been a counselor. I love this. I have more joy from this because when you're involved with another person and you help another person change his life, it's just something to it. I could hit home runs. That was fine. that was for me and for the team and that whole stuff. But I really didn't even know how to be a teammate at the time. I was just a kid. End quote. And he's referring to, how he could have done things better as a kid. And then after baseball, he became a counselor, a drug counselor, and I just think how cool is that? That somebody who struggled with addiction all his life, and especially during his professional career, and then he has a chance to give back, chance to help somebody else, give somebody a hand up, walk behind, beside somebody. I think that's part of why God has put us here on the planet, is to not just think about ourselves, but to think about others. When somebody falls, we pick them up, and that's kind of what happens with us too. That's how we learn. We learn from our mistakes, and I think that's pretty cool that he recognizes, yeah, I had two jobs. Baseball, I made a lot of money, and a counselor, where I'm not making a ton of money, but I am making a difference. And I think that's a great lesson for kids. It doesn't matter about the money. It doesn't matter about your status. At the end of the day, what really matters, did I have an impact on others? For me, in my perspective, did I glorify God with the time I had today? Not worrying about yesterday, not worrying about tomorrow, but today. What did I do today to glorify God? Did I walk by somebody, or did I walk up to somebody? Anyways, here's one more Ellis quote. I mean, just fascinating guy. And this is about, again, the whole idea of helping other people. Quote, I've been blessed with a servant's heart all my life. I'm grateful. I'm just thankful for every day that I get. It's a gift. So I just want to share that with somebody. End quote. And that's kind of what I was just leading into is, I had a friend that told me a long time ago, when I used to make excuses for, not being able to go to church. I'd say, oh, I got to work on that day or whatever. And she said, you know what? If you make time for God, he'll make time for you. And that had a big impact on my life. Also, had an impact on my life is when my oldest sister suddenly died. And I realized time is precious. So the time we get to spend with other people, it's super important. And when we are with people, we need to lock in with those people. And sometimes that just means listening to them, looking them back in the eye, paying attention, and just enjoy life with other people. So I hope you guys had a great Sunday with Bruce Weber's All Pro Baseball Stars. Have a great day, folks.